most people don't know what would be completely them. They don't know what their core essence is asking of them to be as human in this third dimensional existence. And so the work that you do is important to assist entities to come to a realization of, this is what my human self wants, this is what my cellular self wants, this is what God wants of me, etc. And all of these things are the components that come together to make for a complete human experience. It is not a complete human experience when it is just the physical, the third dimensional element of the person. It is a complete human experience on planet Earth in third dimension when you are able to connect with that which animates you, and not just animates you emotionally or intellectually, but animates you physically, animates you spiritually. The thing that is the core of what you are, that makes you want to be at all. Those entities came and took human form and came to the planet at this time in your history in order to explore the elements that they are afraid to look at, the elements that they are curious about but feel hopeless to achieve. All of these things. It is human, it is physical. But without the emotional, mental, spiritual elements of all of that, it is not complete, it is not satisfying, it is not successful. And people who are unable or unwilling to explore those aspects of themselves individually are in despair. To assist others to have the courage to delve into the deeper aspects of being a person on the planet, and encouraging all entities to want to know who and what they are in all aspects, in all colors. And to do that requires an absolute commitment to understanding that all is allowed. Everything is okay. Yes, there are things deemed to be right and things deemed to be wrong. But if you say yes to everything, your chances of success are a great deal better. So it is a very, not new, but complex understanding that you invite into your beingness, that we encourage you to review and explore in your own beingness, and allowing yourselves. Now, we only caution you this one little thing, and that is to not yourselves get into despair when you begin to feel as if you can't go deep enough, you can't go complete enough, because that will never be true. What you do, how far you go in the process, is absolutely enough every time for that stage of development. Do you understand? It is important that you not feel, how should we put this, as so many do, I don't do enough, I don't commit enough. And it's important to recognize this is where a person is at in this moment, and that has to be enough, and that has to be okay. Because that okayness is what creates the space to be able to do more and move on. The beating oneself up and feeling as if it isn't enough and it isn't up to snuff, so to speak, is the sort of resistance to what is that creates barriers to going on and further and bigger. And it's important that all people understand. Given that, of course, there is always the balance between recognizing what is and being okay with it, and recognizing when you really are sort of slacking off and you really could do a great deal more about just the things that you say you want to do. So the balancing act in there is very tricky. And it requires the assistance frequently of others to help one see which side of that slate applies in that given situation. So it's not so much always being yes and okay with a person's laziness or unwillingness to actually step up to what they are capable of and able to do. Recognizing the difference between that and the other side of, well, that's the way it is right now. And if you will let yourself be okay with it, then you will open vistas and avenues to go further. But everything where there is a sense of beating oneself up is a form of resistance to what is. And all resistance makes the thing that is being resisted stronger. And you know this. You know this through all of your work and your studies and everything. Resistance gives strength to that which is being resisted. So, relaxing into what is a much more beneficial avenue of progress. Let's just put it that way. Falling apart is necessary in order to rebuild better. A lot of it right now looks very devastating. We will not minimize that at all. And a lot of it is devastating. And it is part of, well, a lot of it, of course, is created by human misconception of their own lives and what they are meant to be. There is nothing whatever that the two of you can do about that, other than allowing yourselves to image an ideal world that would feel ideal to you and have that image. You have no idea how powerful a really strong image can be, consistently and frequently imaged. So in a group meditation, for instance, to create an image of an ideal world of joy, cooperation, love, accomplishment, and creativity. To create that on a daily basis, even in your minds. You can create a group, all the people that you know that are willing to participate, to pick a certain time, not necessarily that you get together, but that everybody at a specific time sits down and spends 5 minutes to imagine this world. It can be enormously powerful in influencing the behavior of destruction. And at the same time, certain levels of destruction become necessary in order to recreate and rebuild in a more healthy, in a healthier way. What is going on in your Middle East, for instance, right now is devastating and is going to be more so as time goes on. It will not become worldwide conflagration. It will remain confined to that area, and it will devastate a lot of people before it is over. But it will be over, and things will settle down. It might take another 2 years for the cycle to complete itself. And in that 2 years, your prayers are for peace and cooperation and understanding. And you're creating this image as regularly as you can of that environment and that world. And you do whatever action you feel called to do. But you do not force yourselves to do anything that isn't in you. There are people who are built for action. Go out and fight the enemy. Go climb that mountain. Do. There are people who are built for contemplation and for creating new worlds with their ideas and their creativity. And there are little bits in between here and there. There's a vast variety of proclivities and abilities and tendencies and desires. And all must be served in order for a complete human experience. But what we dialogued with you at the beginning of this little session is the most important for you for right now. So let us leave it at that with the encouragement to you to be hopeful and joyful and pray for that for everyone who wants it. And keep the peace in your soul. And when the fear arises and the anger arises, forgive yourself. Forgive them all. Forgiveness is the only way to peace. So be it.